Hello， 大家好，我是宅君，欢迎回到天外世界。接下来我们去找部长，先来找他的守卫好了。
Hey! Of course not. But I'm not. The others took me out to celebrate on account of me just getting hired. He's basically the most important person. That means I got a key to the minister's estate. That's right. Not just anyone is allowed. That's a great idea. I'll have a Spectrum vodka. Here's to me. Hey, you're really... Wow, listen to me. Who am I kidding? It's not every day you get... Wow! Oh, laws. I gotta stop.
Only two? You got a ways to go.
Have you always been here? I didn't see you a minute ago. I really shouldn't. I'll have the worst
Nonsense. You've got another in you. Doctor's orders.
Guess I can't argue with that. Ugh. Listen, I don't feel so good.
Oh yeah, hey, nice.
I just need to sit down.
啊？他怎么挂了 ？What happened？ Whoa.
Big mistake.
No!
And you're live. It's mine.
How
did you get in here?
Hello, sir.
You just slaughtered those guards, and for what? To speak with me? What could possibly be so urgent?
So, this is one of the guys who runs the colony, huh? Small room for a big shot.
If this is about another Aetherwave clip or radio spot, you... Drugs, of course. What else would it be? I don't have any drugs. You should try a vending machine or a purveyor of...
I don't know if our chemicals are here, but this guy is definitely not.
Will that be all, then? Oh dear, I don't think I can say this. Of course. It's Rockwell again, who else? And I thought he was only holding me here to keep... Chairman Rockwell. He's kept me under house arrest for years. I've long suspected him of transacting business.
Yeah, sure. It's always someone else who ordered the hookers and energizing ointment.
Please, this is important. Whatever it is that brought you here, Rockwell's the one behind it. Whatever Rockwell's doing, he'll be doing it from the HHC headquarters. Your best lead is to look for details in his office.
This colony's problems have always seemed to trickle down from the top. If we're set on fixing Halcyon, that's as good a place as any to start.
Exactly. And fix it we must.
We really gonna do this? Getting involved is a messy business, and it rarely pays.
This is about more than bits. This is about the survival of the colony.
Okay.
Why, this is starting to sound like an issue of Dissident Hunter. Via the Acropolis District, of course. That's where the most important corporate and government facilities are. but only board employees are allowed into the district. There's a heavily guarded checkpoint just down the street. There might be a route through the maintenance tunnels, but I'm afraid When you reach the HHC building, this access card should get you up to the executive suites, where the chairman's office and what used to be my office are. Wait! Rockwell has one of the only terminals capable of transmitting to the Earthbound Please, take this and transmit it from his office. Rockwell hasn't given me any messages from Earth for years. He's desperate to keep me out of contact with the Earth Directorate. But they need to know what's happening here. What isn't on it is the real question. I've gathered meeting minutes, internal messages, sustainability reports, and more, all exposing the corruption and mismanagement. Once the rest of the Earth Directorate sees it, they'll have to send help.
You're awful trusting for a guy who's been locked in his own house for years.
The Earth Directorate is our best hope. Even Rockwell's resources are no match. Perhaps there is hope after all. And now I entrust it to you. Good luck, and trust no one in the Acropolis District.
哇塞，全民公敌啊！这。What the hell？ 就没有和平一点的手段吗？哇塞，一堆敌人！
Of him.
进不去，因为我卡片啊。
Just goes to show you never really see your hometown till you travel with a visitor.
Good afternoon. I'm Chairman Rockwell, and I'm here to address a serious issue facing us. As you all know, our colony has been successful beyond our wildest dreams. Unfortunately, we've recently discovered that our food supply will not be able to sustain Halcyon's population in the long term. Everyone will die. Everyone will slowly stop living from malnutrition. But we're doing it together, and that's what matters. I fucking swear, if someone doesn't give me something to read that will placate the masses soon, all of you will find yourselves violently unemployed. But I can assure you there's nothing to fear. We've got a solution. It's called the Lifetime Employment Program. We will freeze most of the colony to preserve resources, while the best and brightest of Byzantium continue living in prosperity. Look, you idiots! How many times do I have to tell you we can't say shit like that? Fire whoever wrote this!
You are fired.
While Halcyon's brightest minds solve the problem of our nutritional shortage, the rest of the colony will be placed in suspended animation. Individuals will be revived on a rotating basis so that every Halcyonite can be part of the important work of saving our colony. By testing paperweights. Sorry, couldn't resist. Let's go again.
What the?
And someday, in the not-too-distant future when we've solved this crisis, we'll all be back together again working for the good of Halcyon. Until then, the board shall provide for the deserving just as it always has. So, obey your supervisors, take your vitamins, follow your corporate-mandated grooming rituals, and rest assured with the board on your side, there is nothing to worry about.
Guess the whole colony's up a creek. I thought it was just Monarch.
I don't know about you, but I'm all for living fast and dying young. I sure hope you negotiated for a raise with this Phineas guy. Ever notice how this job gets bigger and more dangerous every time he calls in? He's asking a lot, Captain. Makes me wonder what your angle is. Fair enough. But you should know he's not the only game in town. The board's put a bounty on his head, and they've got more than enough bits to pay it. I've got no love for the corporations, but they know how to take care of their people. The ones at the top, anyway.
他是我的救命恩人啊
Exactly. You seem to have a good head on your shoulders, so I probably don't need to tell you this, but look out for yourself. No one else out here will. Hey, don't get any ideas. I'm just making sure you last long enough to pay me at the end of this. Anything else?
That queen ain't gonna go down easy. I can't wait. What's up? What's with the pleasantries? You wanna know? I didn't. I was born into security detail, and when the corporations abandoned this place, I stayed. That's all I know. Besides, I had a few friends here, and they were staying too. Sure.
我可以进去吗？可以。哇塞！
Huh? Something's not right.
这是什么生化人吗？生化士兵。
Huh?
Incoming captain!
进不去啊，对。
They got the drop
我
on
我
us.
我我我！哎，我救你出来，你打我！这也太强了吧，这个！哇塞哇塞，血牛啊！ 哇塞！强化人。我。接下来我们来看岳母啦。
There's my parents' place. Smell that? Industrial grade cleaning solvent and desperation.
Oh, 长得好像哦。
Marilyn, is that you?
Laws, we certainly didn't expect to see you like this.
And I didn't expect you to renew your marriage contract. But we're all full of surprises today, aren't we? Speaking of surprises, you should meet my new friend. We've been running around the system for a while now, stirring up all sorts of trouble. I don't know what to say. She's usually not like this. Come on, you're supposed to help me make an impression. Anyway, you're probably wondering where I've been all this time.
Not exactly.
The last few years have been a bloody haze. You wouldn't believe the messes we've gotten ourselves into. Right? Are you trying to make me look bad?
Marilyn, this really isn't the best time. Perhaps you should go.
I mean, we had other business in Byzantium, so it's not like we went out of our way. But you can't just kick us out. We'll stay as long as we like. And while we're at it, we'll drink your expensive hooch, wear our outside shoes all over your nice floors. She's right. Since when can you afford authentic Terran marble?
That's what we've been trying to tell you, dear, but you must understand, we hadn't heard from you in ages.
We thought you were dead.
What?
I'm not dead. I just never wanted to talk to you again.
I'm afraid the distinction was lost on us, darling.
We only did what any grieving parents in our position would do. We collected on your life insurance policy.
Oh.
And the payouts have been rather, substantial.
You what? Well, now that I'm here, I guess you'll just have to report back that I'm very much alive and kicking.
It's not that simple. For one thing, we'd have to cut back on so many necessities. The neighbors would be sure to notice.
Why did you do that?
We had to explain your disappearance somehow.
We couldn't very well tell people you'd run off to become a miscreant, could we? The neighbors would talk, and not in a good way.
We concocted a story about Celeste Jollycurl designing a pair of 12-inch heels for you.
One of a kind, naturally.
That led to your tragic death when you tripped and broke your neck.
It was quite the story. People were talking about it for weeks.
Couldn't you have at least made up a better story? Something with pirates or raptidons? And what are you gonna do now that we're here?
Yes, about that. We were just about to ask you to, leave.
What the?
Quietly, if you don't mind. I'm afraid it would cause quite a stir if the neighbors saw you two stomping about.
That's it? You just want us to disappear now?
Marilyn, please.
Don't cause a scene.
Fine. I'm gone. Forever this time. Can you believe those two? We'd hardly been there a minute and they turned us out like yesterday's garbage. I thought they'd be scandalized. I just didn't want to get booted out of the house I grew up in like that. It's embarrassing, you know? Hey, the last thing I want to do is sit around thinking about all this. I want to take action. I want to... Wait a second. What if I could get that money?
Money?
I could open a new account, designate that account holder as a sole beneficiary. All the payouts would go to me. I'll make money without doing a thing. And I'll get to cut them off.
Good idea.
My policy is with the Greater Halcyon Insurance. Maybe you could use some of your people skills. If that doesn't work, I'm sure we can find one of their terminals and... What a relief. The less time we have to spend in Byzantium, the better.
You seen Arthur today?
This looks like the place. You ready to get my money or...
Welcome to the offices of the Greater Halcyon Insurance Group, Halcyon's premier provider of life and disaster-related insurance. I remember that one. That's the young socialite who broke her neck, right?
Of course, no one remembers me for the marauders I've killed or the bits I've stolen. Typical.
That claim was airtight. Our best investigators couldn't find an exclusion for that one. You can't, of course. Only Miss Fenhel can assign her beneficiaries. And she's dead. If we let every friend, relative, and acquaintance change a policy like that, people would do it all the time. Imagine the paperwork. Oh, you mean hypothetically? Well, hypothetically, you'd access the terminal in the back room that contains data on all our policies. And you'd, theoretically, add the beneficiary of your choice. But you wouldn't actually do that, of course. That would be fraud.
What the?
Please, My policy only covers paper cuts and wrist strain. Very well. I'll do it. But then you've got to go. Confrontations like this will raise my premiums.
Yay!
I'll need the name of the new beneficiary.
Ellie Fenhill?
If you say so. The payouts will flow exclusively into the new account at the start of the month. I hope Ms. Fenhill enjoys her newfound prosperity.
You really did it. Give these payouts a few years and I'll be rolling in it. Hey, you did the real work. All I had to do was not be dead. I'm just glad my folks aren't gonna live off that awful story they made up. Maybe now they'll have to go back to real jobs. Sure. You did my job, so here's your fee. Could have fooled me with all your tough talk. What's gotten into you? You sure? Because my kind of friends will pick your pocket clean while they're getting hammered with you. You don't have to get all mushy about it. Still, maybe you've got a point. Maybe it's good to watch someone's back now and then so that one day they watch yours. So, you just keep the money. One of us has to look out for your interests.
All right.
It's nothing personal. It's just the closest thing I've got to a code. Anyway, enough of the touchy-feelies, huh?
好，搞定了，下一件。
Destination reached. Scylla.
感觉没有什么啊，没有什么东西。
If you don't mind my saying, Captain,
We gotta talk about this.
Minister Clark is lucky to have you on his side.
Hey, boss. Got a hypothetical for you? You got a friend, see? Somebody you knew when you were growing up. You were close. Then, one day, they up and vanished. 5 years go by, they send you a message out of the... Guy by the name of Clyde Harlow. He was an old friend of mine. Honestly, he was probably my first and longest friend. I just heard from him. Says he wants to talk to me. Says it's Figured I should let you know, seeing as we're on Scylla and all. Clyde's got a base on the other side of this rock. I appreciate this, boss. I know you're going out of your way for me.
哇吼！这也太酷了吧！这。
What's up? Outstanding. These ought to be enough. Let's get back to Monarch. There's an old base I used to call home. I can get us in the door, but we'll have to shoot our way through the Queen's brood to get to the center. We'll set the bait there. Password to the door is Charon. Hayes' idea. Clara, Hayes, Anders, Rebecca, Opal, Neil. Rest of us just thought it sounded cool, so here we are.
Hey, you. Looking for something? Where do you think you're going? Yeah. The captain said we might be getting a new recruit. That you, then?
Sounds like Clyde's jumping to conclusions, but yeah, I'm Felix.
You're on a first-name basis with Captain Harlow, huh? All right, go on through.
Thank you.
God, my sight.
Well, hey there, Hullhead. Clawed your way out of the groundbreaker at long last?
Uh-huh. Oh, sorry, were you expecting me to say something? Maybe a long time no see or a you've aged, old man?
So, you took Felix under your wing. Kept him busy. Good. Kid always needed a place to belong.
He kicks things what need kicking. and we look the other way when he starts talking anti-corporate. It's a good arrangement.
Hear that, Clyde? I've been making something out of myself.
So long as you haven't been making a fool of yourself. I'm sure Felix has no end of stories to tell of your exploits together. I look forward to catching up with the boy. I'm working on something. Something big. Something the likes of which Halcyon has never seen. And I want Felix to be a part of my initiative. I'm fulfilling a promise I made to the boy, that one day, he and I would change the colony together. That day has finally arrived.
Easy there, Clyde. No one said nothing about throwing in with you. In case you didn't notice, I'm pretty happy where I am.
I'm not asking you to walk away from your captain, Felix. But neither should you allow yourself to be controlled by fear. Change is not to be feared. I brought you here because I want to know where Felix's loyalties lie. When the day of our revolution comes, I want to know that I can rely on him. Everyone in my crew proves their loyalty. No exceptions. Not even Felix. I want you to deal with a traitor for me. Name's Trask. Kill him, and bring me proof of his death. Routed us out to the board. He's been an informant. Has been for years. When he realized I was onto him, he and his little cadre mutinied. Killed 5 of my own and tucked tail. I don't know where he's hiding, but his wife might. Rosanna. Lives on the Groundbreaker last I checked. Rosanna knows my crew by name and face, but you're a stranger to her. She'll talk to you.
We get rid of this traitor for you and I'm in? I mean, assuming I want in.
We're building a new world together, Felix. You'll want in. Remember, I want proof. Bring me his ring. I don't care if the hand's still attached. Here, my token. Think of this as my personal signature. Well enough. It's been a few years, but I still remember a thing or two. You had a chip on your shoulder. You'd argue over anything and you'd never back down.
What do you mean, had? And for the record, you never could admit when you lost an argument.
You see what I had to deal with?
Okay, let's do it.
Whew, here we go. I haven't set foot in here since... Well, I'm ready. Yeah, ready.
哦，吃到一点都不剩了。
Well, this is the spot. You know, I thought I'd be angry. I thought I'd storm in here in a rage and exterminate all these bugs and everything would be all right in the end. But I ain't. I'm mostly just empty. A little sad, maybe. Clara, Hayes, Anders, Rebecca, Opal, and me. 6 folks, 1 name.
Incoming!
哦，这么大只！哦吼，太弱了吧，这个。
I wish these were more auspicious circumstances, but at least we're all here. This bringing them together, burying them. This is the kind of thing Hayes would have done. That makes it stupid. By all accounts, we should have left well enough alone, but that also makes it right. Captain, thank you. You mind if we rest a spell before we head out? I'd like to bury Opal and Clara proper before I lay everyone's medallions to rest. You know, I'd been assuming this entire stay on your ship thing isn't a permanent arrangement. Part of my contract? That said, you ain't been eaten or shot to death yet. Says a lot about the stability of your future. And to be honest, I'm about sick of sleeping on bar stools. So how's about this? You keep letting me stay on that ship of yours, and I'll keep shooting at the things you point at. Outstanding.
This is Halcyon News.
You mind trying to have a moment here? Rufus and I are no longer on speaking terms. I don't know where he is, and if I did, I wouldn't tell you.
Really?
That's Harlow's mark, no mistake. Guess he's not letting this one go. I don't want any manner of harm befalling Rufus. Not on my account. All right, I'll tell you where he is. Just get out of here, please. Rufus is hiding out in Emerald Vale. Got a few friends with him. That's as much as I know.
翡翠谷在哪里？
I don't know who you are or why you're prowling around here, but I'm willing to make a guess. You're one of Harlow's gun hands, ain't you? He sent you after me.
That's right.
Yeah, of course he did. Thing is, you and I are at an impasse. Harlow wants me dead. How do I know that I can trust you? Yeah, guess that's a fair point. Listen, I don't know what lies Harlow's dripped down your ear, but you'd be a fool to trust him. I never betrayed Harlow. Harlow betrayed all of us. The board's got him in their pocket, been paying him off for years. All the palaver about revolutions? It's a lie.
You're a real piece of work, Trask. Not just a turncoat, but a liar, too.
Go piss up a robe, kid. I've got nothing to prove to you. That's the whole truth. Harlow's just another board asset. A two-bit mercenary wearing a dissident's clothes.
到底谁说真话？
Yeah, I've got proof. There's always a paper trail when the board's involved. I chanced upon some correspondence between Harlow and his employer. I don't know that it makes a difference. What was I to do with that evidence? Bring it in front of the board? There's no authority in Halcyon willing to take... Huh. You ain't like other board agents I heard about. You got a functioning spine. You want to confront Harlow yourself? Be my guest. I hid my papers before Harlow chased me out. Because he's for sale. Anything the board can buy, the board will buy. And that, with Harlow in their pocket, the board had an informant, a pirate, a smuggler, and a gang leader all rolled up into one board-sanctioned piracy. Harlow went after the ships the board wanted destroyed. If we captured you, we'd ransom you. Harlow liked to do the job himself. Gather up the captives on his own ship, vanish for a couple of days. Only that's not what happened. Harlow's been selling his captives off to the board. I don't know where they ended up. Re-education, Tartarus, maybe worse.
这也太扯了吧！
Take it you've made up your mind.
我决定相信你了。
You gonna tell Harlow I'm dead? May as well. I'm never going back to that life again. Here, take the ring. And for what it's worth, my gratitude.
Take care.
What's the word?
Not surprised. Trask was a dead man trying to negotiate with his own executioner. He'd say anything to preserve his life. That's a damning accusation. Am I right to presume you have some evidence on hand?
Of course.
Those papers don't prove a thing. We've all done business with the board. They own the whole damn colony. Trask put you up to this, That miserable wretch. He's trying to undermine everything I stand for.
What the hell?
You've got a lot of nerve calling me a liar to my face. How should I know? What the hell do I care? Trask was a traitor, and I didn't ask you to understand his motives. I asked you to cross him off.
Clyde, look me in the eye and tell me it's not true. Tell me, and I'll believe you.
Don't talk to me like I'm some common criminal, Felix. You're the one on trial, not me. I don't know what kind of poison that snake dripped in your ear, but as far as I'm concerned, you've been compromised.
Returning fire!
Whoa, whoa, whoa! What the hell?
Alright.
结果你说谎啊！
This is definitely not how I imagined it'd end. The void's black, water's wet, and Clyde hated the board. That's something I just knew. Now? I don't know. I don't know what to think. I've just got a lot on my mind right now. This is a lot to take in. I always looked up to Clyde. The thought that he could be an agent of the board is just abhorrent to me. It's pretty harsh, boss. You including yourself in that lesson?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess I don't know what you're about. But I know you treated me fair. You've given me a lot to think about. I'm gonna be mulling over this whole mess for a couple of days. Part of me wishes we'd put Trask in the ground. You know, I think that's just my frustration talking. Thanks for your time, boss.
Okay, next.
Mercy from me.
What have the solar winds deposited on my doorstep now? Just more dirt and debris? Or do you actually believe? I must admit, I tire of the truth seekers. Mayhaps you're here to rob me? That...
We've been told this was once yours. I believe the knowledge within here contains the answers I seek. Answers that will free men's minds from toil.
I can translate it, but it won't do you any good. I can see you are a man in a hurry, and the insights in that book would take you years of study to fully comprehend.
I have spent my life in contemplation. I believe my mind is prepared to receive the truth.
There is one way that can speed up the process. It involves a combination of several ingredients, some of which can be fatal. It is not for the faint of heart. Either hallucinations followed by unconsciousness and a head. But is he truly? How did you find me?
I don't know what happened to him, but we killed his son. But we had a good reason. Or maybe not. In hindsight, we may have acted rashly.
His actions say otherwise.
What the?
I must refuse.
Really?
There is no telling what the experience would do to a mind such as his.
So that's it. Take the damn book, then. It's useless to me. Sorry, Captain. Clearly, we'll get nothing out of this charlatan. I see now it was a mistake to come here.
Please, just take whatever you'd like and get out.
I can't believe this. Years of obsession, my whole life's work. It was all for nothing. It can't just end like this. What sort of a half-assed destiny just peters out into nothing? I devoted myself every moment of every day to uncovering the truth. No, I don't accept it. I did find the truth. And the truth is, this religion is nothing more than a well-constructed lie, meant to keep the lowly sheep of the world in line. My eyes are open now. I won't live a lie.
I reject any man-made system of control. What I'll do next? I just don't know.
Ah, 没了。这个任务没了。
Please just take whatever you'd like and get out.
All right.
You're interrupting my...
Aha! I see you found my portable molecular compression device, better known as a shrink ray. Find a target, point, shoot. Your target will shrink down into a manageable size, whereupon you may commence beating them to a pulp.
先来练这只猪吧。哇哇！酷哎，这个。
I've kept myself busy in your absence. All I need now is the dimethyl sulfoxide. Human test subjects. Oh, that's grotesque. That's... Thank you. You've brought me enough chemicals to get started, at least. I'm just sorry they came at the cost of human lives. Those poor people, they must have died in agony. What nonsense! People aren't just slabs of meat the board can freeze and thaw at their convenience. I'll tell you this much. The board scientists are hopelessly lost. I used to work for these people. I'm intimately familiar with the utter incompetence of the board's own scientists. I know! I've suspected as much for years. Of course, I don't expect... The board's mismanagement put our colony on the road to collapse. Hold on. Let me see if I understand this correctly. You're saying that Halcyon's on the brink of... I always knew Halcyon was heading toward a systems collapse, but that's not a plan. That's a goddamn escape clause. Do you realize what this means for the Hope? For your fellow colonists? Short of lining up every member of the board and shooting them in the back of the head. Do you know what's waiting for us on the Hope? Scientists, engineers. The board's going to dispose of them all and transform the Hope into a... We need to get to those colonists before the board. I have enough chemicals to start reviving a few... Merciful gibbering law! You're a genius! We bring the Hope to us. Skip the entire ship across the... Yes, exactly. You're a step ahead of me, but I perceive the shape of your plan. If we link up the Hope to the Unreliable, then use your navigational computer to calculate a reason...
I don't understand a word you said, Doc. All I know is, if we're gonna hijack a colony ship, count me in.
Yes, excellent. I approve of your enthusiasm, young man. You should ask your captain for a raise. You'll need to switch on the Hope's auxiliary power using the Unreliable. Then head to the bridge. Your navigational computer, Ada, should be able to activate the Hope's... Once you've skipped the Hope next to my lab, I'll have easy access to the... I know you're wondering why I'm doing all this. Why I believe the people on the Hope are the answer to the colony's problems. The Hope is carrying some of humanity. The board would have us believe Halcyon is beyond saving. Oh, it's not you. I do experiments in that room. Some of them get quite scientific. The unexpected is to be treasured, but from a safe distance. Regardless, it's quite comfortable in here, you know.
有点可疑哦。
Certainly. How can I help? Unlikely. The Hope is as massive as the Groundbreaker, but compared to the Rings of Terra 2, the board might notice, possibly. It wouldn't surprise me. When I pulled you out of the Hope, the board nearly Skip drives were never designed to be used within a system, but I skipped my ship across Halcyon. That is, I ruined my ship and nearly killed myself in the process, but...
Captain, I hope Dr. Wells has not dragged you into one of his irrational schemes again. My diagnosis of his mental stability is not flattering. We have arrived at the Hope. I need you to reroute power from our ship to the Hope's auxiliary generator. You'll have to connect me to the Hope's comm system so I can convince her central computer to enable the skip drive.
What?
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
What was that?
Oh, you are in for it now.
这里有人啊！这老头有名字啊。
Can you hear me, Captain? I have successfully integrated myself into the Hope's comm systems, and am attempting to establish contact with the Hope's more primitive processor now. Would you like me to play a mood-suitable music selection while you travel to the bridge? Oh, sorry. File not found.
What the?
That's the Hope's computer up ahead. I'll admit, I am curious to wake him. Greetings, Captain. I am speaking to you through the Hope's computer system. It's a rather cramped feeling. Are you sure? That is extremely dangerous. Skipping the Hope will void the warranty on, and also potentially kill an entire planet. How is my humor now, Captain? Improved? Jump-starting the skip drive. Destination set to the rings. I wouldn't advise that, Captain.
Oh no. Captain, don't do this. I ain't dying on a fucking ship. I'm gonna die in the dirt like we're meant to.
Admitting a deficit? My, you never cease to amaze me, Captain. Skipping the Hope in 3,
Let's do it.
2, 1.
ADA. Does your captain seriously intend to do a micro-jump in system with engines that haven't been powered in 70 years on a derelict ship?
That is what my captain intends, yes.
But that is a gross misuse of the skip drive. The Zero Point Drives Corp and I will not be held responsible.
Yes, I am aware of that.
You should not be doing this. The humans will die.
Thank you, Hope. It looks like all systems are go. Captain, I would advise you to hold on to something. Now.
成功啦
Oh, good. We are still alive and have successfully skipped into Terra 2's orbit. I reported as much to Phineas Wells, but he has not responded. Perhaps you should check in on him.
Ugh. I feel like my stomach's still back where the ship used to be. I need a hard drink and a long nap.
Captain. Captain, I shall now play the transmission I received from Dr. Wells.
The board is here. They've found me somehow. They're about to blast my door open. I
can't stop them from getting me, and there isn't enough time to explain everything. But there's something very aboard. All their lackeys, they're all a bunch of... You fucking pigs! I'll take you all out with me! I'll never...
No!
It would seem the recording captured some rather dire events. I presume you'll want to dock at the orbital lab to check on your associate as soon as possible? How can I be of assistance? Goodbye.
哦，找到了，密码在猪上面，太鬼畜咯，这个。导航密钥。
Captain, as it appears we may soon be embarking for a maximum security prison planet, I believe the crew would like to speak with you to, as you humans put it, air some concerns.
Well, folks, I ain't exactly keen on busting into a prison, but riddling bored stooges with bullets does sound like a ride and a half.
I never got to know Doc Wells. We ain't friends or crew. But he's still one of us. He's the reason the boss is up and walking right now. We can't just leave him to die in Tartarus.
Yeah.
To extract the scientist, you will need to infiltrate the labyrinth. But that course of action is likely to be quite dangerous, Captain. I am programmed to warn you whenever you exhibit inclinations to...
Getting in is the simple part. It's getting out again that's the trouble. Trust me, I know.
Let's just do it. Kick down some doors, grab Doc Wells, and cut a path out. We don't need a plan. We got guns.
If you really mean to do this, you should see to your final affairs and close out any unfinished business. Once you sneak into Tartarus, you may be there a while. Or permanently.
It's the craziest plan I've ever heard. And I mean that as a compliment.
You didn't hire me to think. And I ain't about to start now. You're my boss. And I'll walk into fire with you.
I think it's insane. But maybe the colony needs a healthy dose of insanity right about now.
I know it's dangerous. And I won't lie and say I'm not scared out of my wits. But I couldn't live with myself if we didn't do something.
You're asking for more than bravery from us, Captain. But there are worse ways to go than dying for a good cause. I'm in.
Let Sam get the grime out. It's what our units do.
The entire plan is a terrible idea, but I admire your bravado, Captain, which leads me to illogically believe, against the odds.
We gonna prepare? Sure. Guess I could give my ass-kicking boots another coat of polish. You got some sort of plan in mind?
Straightforward and simple. Sounds like our best bet.
好，那我们今天这集影片呢就先到这边，谢谢各位收看，我们下集见，拜拜。